What it is, YouTube? Today in this video, we are I am reacting to the Boondocks and how they picked black celebrities, and yeah. Also, my mic sounds horrible, so don't mind that either. Stay in tune because I don't talk for like the first 2 minutes. My bad. I didn't have nothing to say.
Hunger strike. We're showing a reflection of many other issues that still affect the black community in 2026, even though the episode first aired back in 2008. It takes aim at the toxic entertainment we consume and so-called black leaders who eventually sell out in the pursuit of money and influence. This episode is just another example of how time and time again, Boondocks proves it was ahead of its time. In today's video, we're going to do a full recap of this episode, break down some of the most important scenes while connecting them to real life events, and discuss possible solutions to these problems. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. No more talking, let's get into it. The episode opens up inside BET headquarters, where CEO Deborah Leavell, a parody of former BET CEO Deborah L. Lee, openly discusses a plan to destroy black culture through the network's programming. She explains that the founder of BET dreamed of creating a television network that could do more harm to the black community than slavery, Jim Crow, and malt liquor. One of her colleagues then chimes in, claiming that the plan is working. He argues that since BET was founded, the black community has experienced a decline, pointing to the rising high school dropout rate.
Like this show, it be your own people that really don't be messing with you. Like, because this is somewhat true. Because, like, I know this is talking about race, but your family, your blah blah blah, your own people be talking about you. Your own people be doing wrong. Your own people be hating on you. So yeah, I really like how this Boondocks depicted this.
Teen pregnancies, unemployment, and incarceration as evidence. Before he can finish his sentence, however, Deborah cuts him off by hurling her high heel at him, insisting that the destruction isn't happening fast enough.
The destruction of black people is not happening fast enough!
Now, as I rewatch a lot of the Boondocks episodes, they do tend to heavily play into respectability politics. Now, respectability politics is the belief that members of a marginalized group can reduce prejudice, discrimination, or gain greater acceptance by conforming to the dominant society standards of behavior, appearance, speech, and morality. This episode touches on that idea by implying that the black community is in a decline because we are not respectable enough. My problem with that argument is that whether BET or any other entertainment, network, music, media that we consume, many of these negative aspects in the black community will still exist, as they do in other communities. This is because with respectability politics, it doesn't tackle the root causes of these problems. It's very similar to how in 2026, many people blame violence on the rappers. While music may influence some individuals in certain cases, treating it as a primary cause is very disingenuous. If that was true, then how do we explain the 1970s? At that time, music was generally respectable, yet homicide rates in the black community were extremely high. Major drivers were deeper structural issues such as concentrated poverty, economic disenfranchisement, and the devastating heroin epidemic that
As I know this is not possible, but if everybody was rich, everybody had money, the violence would go down significantly. Half of these people rob and kill because they don't got nothing. That's why majority of the black community do the things like this, because they rob and kill people because they have nothing. Majority of the black community is poorer than an average white person.
The crack epidemic. Those conditions created environments where violence could thrive long before rap music and networks like BET. Now, with that being said, I do think the Boondocks conveys a message that holds some validity within this episode. Although I don't believe that these networks are the primary cause of the black dysfunction within our communities, I also don't think that it's helping, and in many ways, it's fanning the flames. Instead of promoting higher education, healthy relationships, entrepreneurship, or stronger community values, these networks often choose to highlight the most negative elements of our community. And the thing is, I feel like us adults, we can watch a lot of these dysfunctional, things and listen to the dysfunctional rap music and not indulge in that in real life. But let's say the preteen whose mother is at work all day paying the bills. They're consuming this media. They think that that's how things are supposed to go. The youth is who I'm more concerned about. Like I stated in the intro, this episode dropped back in 2008, almost 20 years ago. At that time, BET had an enormous cultural influence. Now in 2026, with things such as the BET Awards, they still kind of hold weight, but the average teenager, preteen is not tuning into BET. So I want to bring up a network and owner that fits into the context of this show, but in 2026. Zeus TV and Lemmy Plummer. Low-key, why dude kind of look like me? And off the bat, there is a lot of controversy surrounding his ownership. Allegedly, he scammed multiple people, and everything surrounding it is pretty fishy. Since its launch though, the network has become incredibly popular. The issue, however, is the type of content that fueled that success. Much of Zeus programming revolves around physical fights, constant arguments, hypersexuality, public humiliation, and dysfunctional relationships. Rather than showcasing the diversity of black experiences, many of his shows just reinforce negative stereotypes. Black women are often portrayed as loud, angry, aggressive, and hypersexual. The biggest and most successful show on this network is titled Baddies. The series follows a cast made up primarily of black women who travel across the country for club appearances and promotional events. While that's the premise, the show's popularity largely comes from arguments, rivalries, and physical fights that unfold throughout each season. That formula isn't just unique to this Baddies show. It's pretty much all of Zeus Network shows. Conflict, violence, and sensationalism are constantly placed at the forefront, while positive or uplifting portrayals are largely absent. Despite this, many people defend both the network and its owner. The argument is that since Lemmy is a successful black entrepreneur, he should be celebrated rather than critiqued. Yes, Lemmy is a successful businessman. Him and his family are very well off for themselves, but individual success doesn't automatically translate into collective progress. If that success is built on content that profits off of reinforcing negative stereotypes about black people, you're doing more harm than good. With that in mind, for the rest of this video, I want you to basically swap out BET with the modern black entertainment, whether that be networks such as Zeus TV. We can also talk about black YouTube, the endless 20v1 videos, the Pop the Balloons, the Gender War podcast. Much of this content that the people are
because they be having straight black people, and the only white person gonna be. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you the only person that's gonna be white in the video.
You know that you can build an app in minutes with Base 44. Now watch what happens when you don't stop there. 1. Design matters.
Did it, nigga.
This beat cool, but it ain't really my flay. They be calling me a white boy the whole time. My great grandma was a slave.
This be the white people. This nigga, this be the white people. This dude's grandma is not a slave, bruh. Look at him. You're white. You're a ginger.
Motherfucking sick and tired of hearing that rat Atlanta phrase. That shit Gucci did, them ain't no Atlanta ways. See, a nigga like me, I ain't never been some food, nigga, even in the can.
I can't listen to them say that word. Crazy boy.
Consuming today looks very different from what our parents and grandparents used to consume. There was a time when seeing figures like James Baldwin or Malcolm X speak on television was a major cultural event. Programs featuring black scholars, activists, and community leaders discussing the challenges facing the black community and debating possible solutions were considered meaningful, engaging television. Conversations centered around education, politics, economics, and community empowerment once.
Low-key, I wish this was more of this nowadays. Nowadays, it's just the president. Now it's just the president. We don't get no people having problems. They talk about it. The news try to cover it, but they don't cover it like they used to. If you get what I'm saying.
Occupied a much larger place in black media. Whether the shifts happened intentionally or it was the result of capitalism is up for an open debate. But it's just hard to ignore how dramatically the landscape has changed. After Deborah and her team of executives get finished discussing ways of destroying the black community, the episode cuts to Huey, who was appearing on CNN.
This hunger strike will continue until BET is taken off the air, the office is shut down, and all its top executives commit Japanese ritual suicide.
So I think Huey has the right idea, but he completely misses the mark. The goal of a strike is to create enough pressure that both sides can come to a realistic middle. But as you can see with Huey's demands, they are a bit extreme. It's just not going to work. A more practical demand could have been Huey state that if the network is going to air gossip, reality TV shows, then it also should invest into programming that promotes education, culture, black history, and meaningful discussions within the black community. To be fair, life is about balance, and this is the problem that I talk about all the time with Huey. We are all human. There are days days when I'm bumping Chicago drill music. And then there are others when I'm listening to Fred Hampton speeches. I'm a man of duality. And I think this boils down to the biggest problem with modern day black entertainment. There is very little balance. Take, for example, rap in the 2000s. Alongside music that people considered not respectable, there was a strong presence of conscious/woke rap that was readily available in the space as well. We had artists like Common, Lupe Fiasco, Lauryn Hill, Mos Def, Erykah Badu, Talib Kweli. Fast forward to 2026 and it feels like the only thing on the radio is just non-stop bullshit. Now don't get me wrong, positive and thoughtful music still exists. I just feel like it isn't pushed as much. Or maybe the demand just isn't there. And also that can be put onto capitalism. In the next scene, Huey is on the third day of his hunger strike. He's seated at the dinner table with Granddad and Riley, who are eating like there is no tomorrow. Instead of supporting him, they mock him and pressure him to end the strike. And then when Huey asks to leave the table, Granddad refuses, telling him that nobody told him to do a hunger strike in the first place. Riley then jumps in, dissing him, stating that he's just hating.
Nigga, you just hating, feel me? That's why you ain't never gonna have no paper, ain't never gonna have no bitches, feel me?
Wait, watch your mouth.
This is a controversy all the time within the black community. Someone raises what they believe is a legitimate concern, and instead of engaging with the argument, people just dismiss it by stating that they're hating. A recent example of this is the controversy surrounding legendary singer NDRE, best known for her soulful blend of R&B, neo soul, and folk music. She shared her thoughts on Young Miami's Spin That, a song that celebrates scamming, credit card fraud, theft, transactional relationships, while presenting that lifestyle to be something aspirational. Not to be a hypocrite or anything, because like I stated, I do listen to drill music sometimes. So I know it may be some ladies out there that want to bump Young Miami or City Girls. I'm not faulting you. Once again, my thing is about the youth. And in this current political climate, I just don't think this is the time for that type of song. Just a few months ago, we had the trial of Rick Chow, who after falsely accusing a young black boy of stealing water, he then chased him down for about a football field's length, shooting and killing him. And guess what? He got off not guilty. When songs glorify stealing and fraud, they can reinforce negative stereotypes that some people already use to justify viewing young black people with suspicion. Whether or not a song directly determines prejudice, it can contribute to the normalization of those stereotypes. With Young Miami, instead of her encouraging people to spin that or steal that or scam this or scam that, how about she promote investing that, build that, love that? Ironically, Spin That became the biggest song of the summer. And in a respectful way, NDRE had words about this.
It is being wrongly reported on some of these blogs that I am calling for a boycott of the song of the summer. I did not call for a boycott. I commented on someone's thread who was calling for a boycott. But let me tell you my thoughts about music, because that's what this is really about. Everything has a frequency. People are like, it's just a song. No. Nothing is just anything. Everything has a frequency. Colors have a frequency. Names have a frequency. Cities, states have different frequencies. Mountains have a frequency. Rivers have a different frequency from mountains. Mountains by rivers have a specific frequency. Food has a frequency. Some things taste good but aren't good for you. Some things don't taste good and they are good for you. Some things taste good and they're good for you. Something like, it's not just a song. No song is just a song. It is a frequency. What you do is your choice. And if you had asked me this 6 years ago, I would have been trying to convince you of what to do. But I have since learned that that is not my place, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and I'm not going to be spinning my wheels trying to convince people of things. I believe what I believe. I emanate a certain thing. I do it consciously. I hope that it is helpful to someone, and that's all I can do. If you want to go be programmed by anything, or you want to go eat anything, that's on you, and enjoy.
While many people agree with her, others push back.
Shout out to Young Miami. Got the hottest record in the world, not just the country, the hottest record in the world. They singing it in China, in Russia, in Ethiopia, goddammit. Shout out to Young Miami, one of the baddest, the finest little shit in the game right now. You bad body old bitch, not one to be giving how you feel about this young girl and her song. All the negative music that come out, you want to simply try to target a young black female that's doing something positive, that's in her bag right now. You talked about her bag when she put out certain singles. You talked about her over and over again with situations with who she was dealing with. Everything y'all get on this the internet and act like y'all life is all peaches and cream. But I know you old bad breath smelling that. I know you. I know.
Damn.
I know you mad. I know you. You mad. You jealous. You look at that young fine girl on that stage rocking each clubs each and every night. These appearances, these hosts. She dropping her heart and go out there. Young Miami, you got not let these old ragged deter nothing you trying to do. That's why I don't you old. That's why I would not one of you old bitches because the game done passed you by. You still stuck in the motherfucking 50s and the 60s. I don't want no old.
That boy sound like wait, why
no gray hairs.
Shawty, you got the game for that. You just nut ran through body.
Let me explain something to you. You want to be celibate I'm celibate. I got my LLC and my credit score 800. Stick your 800 credit score up your ass, and your LLC ain't making no motherfucking money. You don't have a customer, a product to sell. All you is bullshit. Get you some money, however you do. Stop getting on here talking bad about your fellow black woman that's making money. Music ain't for everybody. If you don't like it, turn off your radio, close and cancel your subscription to all your social media sites. Get off of Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, because as long as you on there, you gonna hear it right be. These young don't want to leave their man, they want to be happy. These young women of the day, these young men of the day do not want to be old and miserable like you for the rest of their life. They want to smoke a hookah, hit them a joint, take them a shot of Don Julio or Patron. They want to get flued out. They want to put that shit on and get real good, you dumb, ignorant bitch.
That was the rapper Trick Daddy, and I mean, what else do we expect? Just like Riley, instead of addressing the substance of what Envy Ari was saying, he reduced her entire argument to her just hating. And Trick Daddy also brought up that because Young Miami is a successful black woman and doing something positive, there shouldn't be any backlash. Just like I stated earlier with Lemmy, yes, you are successful, but at what cost? Because the crazy thing is, the music that Young Miami promotes and puts out to the world, she doesn't even let her own daughter listen to.
What if Summer comes to you as pretty as she is and says, Mom, I want to be a city girl?
She ain't gonna be no city girl. No. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother wave. Like, you know, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, you know, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Huey then walks away to answer the ringing house phone. On the other end is Rollo Goodlove, a charismatic minister and activist. Now, Rollo represents many black leaders within the community, and I have made multiple videos on this topic of how black leadership has been changed from intellectuals, revolutionaries, to celebrities, ball players. You know, also many of these new leaders are capitalists. They have very individualistic mindsets, and once again, this was all by design. In pretty much all of my videos now, I talk about Richard Nixon's Black Capitalism Initiative. So right here we have the national response to Richard Nixon's Black Capitalism Initiative. Richard Nixon viewed the uncontrolled black power movement as a major threat to the internal security of the United States during the late 1960s and early 1970s. To address this situation, Nixon developed his Black Capitalism Initiative. The Nixon presidency offered African Americans the notion of black capitalism as an incentive to move away from the notion of burn, baby, burn. The evidence suggests that although Nixon did not achieve his institutional goals related to black capitalism, did indeed achieve his larger ideological goal of subverting African American radicalism. This was the goal. Move the mindset away from revolutionary community-based things to individualistic, capitalistic, me type of mindset. Rollo ended up reaching out though because he wanted to express his support for Huey's message and says that he wants to be an ally in the fight against BET. While he agrees with Huey's overall message, it's clear that he will not be participating in the hunger strike. You want to know his reason? He has dinner plans with P. Diddy.
Are you gonna go on the hunger strike with me?
Oh yeah, no. You see, I have to have dinner with Puffy later on, but don't you worry though. Together we're gonna bring our enemies to their knees.
That should have been the first red flag. But let's talk about
Diddy. That boy finna get oiled up. That's gonna be an interesting dinner.
the second one. It is the way he presents himself. He's covered in expensive jewelry, riding around in a luxurious limousine, and pretty much living like a celebrity. I mean, he is a celebrity. From the very beginning, the show gave us hints on the real person that Rollo was. As the conversation ends, Rollo invites Huey to attend a rally he's organizing to protest BET. The next day at the rally, Rollo puts his charisma on full display. It starts off like an ordinary political demonstration, with Rollo speaking out against BET and the negativity he believes the network promotes. Before long though, the atmosphere changes. What began as a boycott quickly transforms into a massive entertainment event.
I built this website in 5 minutes with Wix Harmony. So I came across this image recently and thought to myself, what if I built an entire brand around this? And so I opened up Wix Harmony with one goal.
Like, he just trying to get his pocket sticker. He want them, if he's singing, I'm pretty sure he's singing, but he wants whoever is singing, or if he's singing, he just wants the money. He's not doing it for the real cause. I hate that. Like, people will treat you a certain way, act a certain way towards you, not to be your friend, not to be cool, to play with you or try to make money off you or try to get something out you. Most people try to get stuff out you. Not everybody wants to be buddy, da 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 da. See, that's just like, I don't know, bro.
This scene right here perfectly reminds me of modern day politics, when celebrities perform or appear at campaign rallies to draw larger crowds and generate attention. Whether it's musicians, actors, or influencers, the goal is often the same: use entertainment to get people engaged with the political message. While I'm not personally a fan of using this tactic, I get it. In today's world, popularity and image carry a tremendous amount of influence. Politicians, activists, and organizations try to connect with younger audiences by partnering with the celebrities or tapping into popular culture in hopes of directing that attention toward a more important issue. At the day, Huey is fully on board with Rollo's approach and tells Granddad how impressed he was by the event. Later that day, Huey meets with Rollo to discuss how they should continue the boycott. Huey suggests taking a more confrontational approach, stating that he wants to storm into BET's headquarters. Rollo quickly interjects. He doesn't think this is a good idea. He argues that black people are drawn to style, image, and things that feel aspirational. As Rollo puts it,
in order to save them kids, I got to reach them kids. Now see, when I shine, they walk toward me for the light of them diamonds.
I actually agree with that sentiment. If you want to reach the kids, you gotta meet them where they at. You gotta relate to them. You gotta understand where they come from. That's also why I take the approach that I do within my videos. I try not to demonize the dysfunctional youth, specifically the YNs. I grew up around these dudes. I could have became these dudes. I understand that a lot of these kids are just products of their environment. Many of them are just misguided. They lack role models or haven't been exposed to the different opportunities. Rollo actually made sense with that statement. Fortunately though, later in the episode, this was all BS. This is the thing about Rollo. He'll say some real shit, but he just bullshit. Also, throughout this entire conversation, he is straight up eating in Huey's face, even though he's in the middle of a hunger strike. This is a small moment, but it highlights that Rollo can't even do the simple things, yet alone cause a real revolution. And that's most people in 2026, to be honest. It's sad. Y'all can't even not buy a game or boycott a TV app or goddamn don't buy out of a certain store. How the fuck we supposed to make change? Because the sad thing is, if no one is losing their life or no money is being lost, sadly a change won't come. The scene then cuts back to Dr. Evil at BT headquarters, where she gets knowledge that the boycott is growing. Huey is back on CNN, bringing national attention to the growing movement.
Man, fuck BET. I'm gonna read a book.
Word got around, BET was evil.
The boycott is working, and it demonstrates that meaningful change can happen. However though, as this movement continues to gain momentum, an even bigger problem emerges.
And finally tonight, Reverend Rollo Goodlove, who's been very critical recently of BET and their sexually explicit videos, starred in a pretty explicit video of his own.
Oh.
The video clearly shows the good Reverend Goodlove at the House of Cheeks strip club. And it doesn't look like he was talking politics.
Butt cheeks. Who the butt cheeks? Yo, that's funny.
You see this pattern constantly. Many of the people presented as black leaders don't actually live by the values that they publicly put out. That's why I truly try to live by everything that I preach. I advocate for black love and strong black families. So me and my wife created one. I encourage people to support black-owned businesses. So I promote them and shop with at least 3 to 4 per month, with that number increasing each month. I openly talk about overconsumption and unchecked capitalism. So I make small and intentional choices within my real life to go against the system. For example, growing my own food. For the past 2 years, I have been working on a small garden with my family. I am by no means perfect, but I try to live by everything I preach, y'all. Huey and Rollo, though, eventually meet up again. And as expected, Rollo has an excuse for his behavior.
Now see, if I walk into the strip club and start talking to a sister about progressive politics and all that, bettering her life and voter registration, you think she gonna talk to me? But if I grab me a handful of that big old ass and ask for a dance, now she just gonna think I'm just another trick, when I'm really an instrument of her salvation.
All of this is a load of BS. And once again, through this entire sequence, he is seen eating. It just shows how isolated Huey is. He's always fighting for what's right. But on the other end, nobody else gives a fuck. Huey even ended up discovering more dirt about Rollo. Last year, he promoted a company offering high-interest loans that mainly targeted struggling black people. Rollo then embarks on a full-scale public relations campaign. He holds multiple press conferences, attempting to smooth over the controversy while simultaneously launching media attacks against BET. Rather than taking accountability with this whole thing, he just shifts the blame and tries to play victim. Despite Rollo's hypocrisy and the growing controversy surrounding him, the boycott continues to thrive. And with that being the case, the higher-ups at BET have to get involved.
Second of all, we gotta figure out this whole boycott thing, all right? It's killing us. Just talk to them. Give them whatever they want, okay? Just handle it.
Eventually, the boycott comes to an end. But guess what? None of the demands were met. Rollo sells out both him and the black community in exchange for a TV show on the network. Defeated, Huey just walks away. And Rollo's final line in this episode is especially telling because it reflects a mindset that many black leaders have in 2026.
Niggas is just gonna be niggas. So you might as well get that money while you bullshit. Boy, stop. Boy, just stop. And go get something to eat.
As Huey finally prepares to break his fast, I want to add, after not eating for like 5 days and breaking that mug on a goddamn sandwich, boy, your stomach about to be messed up. If you don't break that fast with some fruit, come on, I feel like Huey would be tapped in enough to know how to break a fast correctly. Anyway, that's besides the point. He asked Granddad,
Granddad, what do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do?
You do what you can.
This represents the final stage of being pro-black. You come to the realization that everybody can't be saved. Some people are just comfortable with the mediocrity.
I just realized, bro. I know they're unfortunate and they're not like they have to do what they have to do. But the people with a high crime popularity in the black community, bro, they don't want out. They love it there. Then the people that do want out, they end up dead. That's the sad reality.
Don't want more for themselves or the community. I don't think I'll ever get to that stage because my goal isn't to change the entire world. If I can change a few people's mind, because guess what? Then they'll change somebody's mind and they'll change somebody's mind. Real changes always started with a small number of people. And I want to say, I don't think the black community needs just one leader. We can be leaders within our households, within our communities. And when I think about the former greats, man, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, MLK, I can't help to wonder, what if they had the mindset of the final stage of being pro-black? Despite the obstacles they face, they continue organizing, educating, and fighting for what they believed in. And we all should do the same thing. No matter the opposing forces that comes at us, even if it's our own people, they'll eventually wake up. They won't stay asleep forever. That's it for this video, though. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Alright, it was a good stream. Some good streams. And it was a really good stream, and I enjoyed it. So I will probably be live again today, but I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna see y'all. Whoa, 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 whoa. Peace out, Zion. Try shit up like a sensei. 10 million on gold. She tripping all I like every day. I ain't trying to see what's on your phone. I'm supposed to be there.